Despite scientific findings which emphasize fluidity in sexuality, sexual orientation is still being presented to the contrary as fixed and unalterable. The American Psychological Association, for example, has long documented that many people report having undergone notable shifts in their patterns of sexual attraction, behaviors, or orientation identities over time. And in 2014, the Royal College of Psychiatrists changed its position statement, which up to then had claimed that sexual orientation was genetic and thus fixed, to recognize that sexual orientation does in fact change and is responsive to postnatal influences. Yet activists in the USA and Europe, even including the mental health institutions themselves, continue to demand that professional and pastoral support helping people to leave unwanted homosexual feelings should be criminalized. Thus, the must stay gay or mandatory gay legislation proposals in several jurisdictions remove the chance of people getting help to live in ways that they choose. Each person in this series of interviews recognizes that they are not victims of their sexual feelings. They choose to leave homosexual behaviors, and as they do, many find that their feelings and patternings change. Listen to this.
My mom said, well, I never expected this from you because you're a good-looking guy and girls like you, so what's the problem? I said, well, I'm not sure if it's the problem, but this is what I feel. I don't like it, but this is, I think, who I am. And so we started a relationship. I got introduced in the gay lifestyle. Been running around there for some 12 years. Till I finally went to the United States for participating in the gay games. I've always been a sporter myself, not a soccer player like my dad, but I was a speed swimmer, water polo player. And I combined my gay lifestyle and sports, so I went over to the United States to participate in the gay games. Amsterdam had more than I thought it would have for me, because the whole gay lifestyle was available for me and I enjoyed it, and relationships, many. But I got addicted to so many things, not just the sex part, but also alcohol and soft drugs. And one day, I don't know how it came about, but one day I talked to a good friend of mine from the gay lifestyle also, and he said, yeah, my mom went to church yesterday and that's where I got triggered, because I said, you know what, there might be a God, but don't talk about church to me. Because in that gay pride at the end of the gay games in New York City, I saw the pictures when we had the closing parade. And there were pictures of people holding up signs, God hates fags and burn in hell. Well, for me that was not really an invitation like, you're very welcome in our church. So I just knew gay people were not welcome in church. So that was my concept. But he talked about the pastor where his mom heard the sermon of, that he preached about creation, about sexuality and what the Bible says about it. And that's where I started my search for God, actually.
If you'd like to hear the full interview, go to voicesofthesilence.tv. Subscribe at no cost to access all the interviews of those who are coming out of homosexual practices and those who support them. And don't forget to buy our DVD, Voices of the Silence, Part 1.